Welcome along to the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, North Korea versus Canada. The crucial game from Group A of the Women's Under-20 World Cup. North Korea, top of the table, 2 wins from 2. They need a point to be absolutely mathematically assured of a place in the quarter-finals of this competition, although, let the truth be told, they probably have already done enough. It would take an awful lot of goals from Ghana against Finland to deny the Koreans. Well, here's their starting 11. They make 2 changes from the team that defeated Ghana. Kyung Hyang and So Hyang are the 2 strikers. They replace Un Sim and Rion Hwa. So the only changes made, both come up front for Hwang Yong-bong. 2 captains, Cho Song-kyung of North Korea and Kinley McNichol of Canada. Well, Canada make 2 changes. Janine Becky and Valerie Sanderson both came off the bench to score crucial goals against Finland. They both keep their place in the starting 11 this time, as does Nichelle Prince, the other goal scorer in that game. Ashley Campbell is left out, whilst Jessie Fleming is unavailable through injury. Hwang Yong-bong, the coach, hoping to guide North Korea towards their 2nd Women's Under-20 World Cup. The only nation, remember, other than the USA and Germany to be world champions at this level. Andrew Oliveri looking to follow in the footsteps of the last time that Canada hosted this competition, the inaugural event in 2002, when they went all the way to the final. North Korea then in the red, Canada all in white. Wayne Boyce alongside Jen O'Neill for this one. Well, to qualify and to make sure they qualify, Jen, Canada need the victory, but it couldn't be tougher, could it, against North Korea? Yeah, well, other than France, Korea, DPR, North Korea are the only team really that look very, very comfortable and have done in both of their games. I'm disappointed a little bit not to see Rion Sim, the centre forward for North Korea, but when you're at top of your group, you want to use all of your squad, you want to try and rotate that. And as if there isn't enough pressure as hosts for Canada, there's the pressure of they've got to win to progress. Here's Becky, into the side netting. Good early attack though from Canada in the opening minute. And she's got behind as well, and she really needs to pull that centre back rather than going for the side netting, but good signal of a early intent and the speed that Becky has down the left-hand side. This is Buchanan. And again to Davis. Touch back to Quinn. Launched forward by Lawrence. And Sim. Yeah, really interesting decision to swap the 2 centre forwards by Hwang Yong-bong. Kyung Hui. Kyung-hui with the throw then for the North Koreans. Twice they've been to the final, remember. Winners in 2006 when they beat China in the All-Asian final. 2 years later they were beaten by the USA. USA, the side who defeated Canada in that inaugural event in 2002. Canada have become the first nation to host this competition twice, of course. This is the forerunner for the Women's World Cup here next year. And for the good of the competition, you want Canada to progress. So look at some of the crowds they got during that 2002 tournament.
40-odd thousand, 30-odd thousand when they played England in the quarter-finals. And to keep local interest, you really need the hosts to progress, certainly out of the group stage, which is such a big ask against this Korean side.
Yeah, they certainly will be doing it the hard way. The defeat to Ghana was such a blow for Canada's hopes of getting through, but they pulled it round against Finland, 2 goals down and looking on their way out of the competition for 3 second-half goals. Saw the hosts take the points. Free kick for Korea, headed away though by Buchanan.
Well, they had so many chances as well in the second half against Ghana, and what a comeback against Finland it was as well. It shows you the character that the Canadian side possesses, and they've got ability going forward.
Given away by Young Guan. That was a foul on Lawrence. And Quinn to Buchanan. Quinn. This is McNichol. Prince turns away from a couple of challenges, tried to slide the ball through, but it was well cut out by Sol Gyong. McNichol with the throw. And Prince taken away though. Chase could be on here. This is Kyung Yang going for goal.
It looked like just a long, hopeful, searching ball, but she did well to get it, and despite the attention of 3 or 4 Canadian defenders, she shapes up to shoot, and although it's outside the 18-yard area, it's still close, the resultant effort. Surayeka with the challenge there. She's putting it out of play. She's the only Canadian player not based at a US university. The college system is so valuable to the US, but to so many other, particularly North American and Central American nations in terms of their football development.
Cut out by Buchanan. Young Gyong. Canadian throw. Really is all or nothing tonight for Canada. A lot depends on how Ghana get on against Finland. A win for Ghana, and Canada will have to match that scoreline. Draw would only be enough if Finland could see off Ghana.
And he says predominantly in Canadian hands. It's great skill and
terrific play, a good cross in as well, and the header away by Unyong.
It's good awareness and a little bit of deception as well from Emma Fletcher, and a decent ball in afterwards. Not attacked sufficiently though.
Kyung Hyang. Switch by Sol Gyong to Hyang Sim. Pull back again by Hyang Sim to Young Gyong. Hyang Sim. Space here for Kyung Hui. Will cross in. The first touch though from Kyung Hyang just allowed the challenge to come in from Quinn.
Such a regular feature in their game, particularly getting the right full back forward. Just seeing another example of the great skill from Emma Fletcher. She's tracked, a little bit of a step over, sends a defender the wrong way, and then sends in a decent cross which is cut out.
Young Sim's corner. Fired back in first time is Kyung Hang trying to find some space for the shots. Well defended though by Yeka. Good spell of pressure this though for North Korea.
Region Bokbati, not the only number 5 in this tournament with nicely coloured dreads.
Really easily recognisable Buchanan at the back for Canada. Deep delivery, important header away by Quinn. Well, it's tough, whatever position they finish in these groups. The two qualifiers, of course, Germany and the USA await in the quarter-finals. Certainly not going to be an easy route for either North Korea or the hosts if they get through, or Ghana. So-yeon, and the cross in again. Quinn getting there, and that was half a chance. Fell kindly in the end for the opportunity for Mi-gyong, but she couldn't keep it on target. The North Korean pressure mounts. There's McNichol. It's been a tough opening 10 minutes or so for Canada. As expected, North Korea, a team very much in form.
Janine Becky's had one foray down the left-hand side and Emma Fletcher one down the right.
Here's Sanderson.
Here they go centrally and off thwarted.
Prince making the challenge on So-yeon.
In qualifying, Japan were almost taken aback by how defensively North Korea played against them. Just did not predict that that's how the North Koreans would set themselves up. So they can do that. They can play negatively. It's not in their character though. They're such an energetic team.
There's Nhua. Now Fletcher. It's been lively early on, but
look at that. Edge of the 18-yard area, and there's 8 red shirts behind the ball.
And of course, they've been highly successful, North Korea, at youth level. The only nation to be both women's under-17 and under-20 world champions, but still, as of yet, haven't really done it on the world stage at the senior level outside of Asia.
They'll have to wait a little bit longer, seeing as they're banned from next year's competition after failed drug tests.
And this year's Asian Cup they were banned from as well, weren't they? Japan winning that for the first time. It's Kyung-hui. Quinn. This is McNichol. Buchanan. This is Yeka. Fletcher. Here's McNichol again. Min-young, though, cutting it out for Korea. Now Hyang Sim. So Hyang. Chong Hyang going down a little too easily.
It looked like she'd collected it superbly and was off. Whether her foot was caught or whether she just got her foot caught in the turf.
Kyung-hui's header. Touch back by Davis. Run by Yeka. So-yeon cuts it out though. Kadesha Buchanan. Now Quinn. Conceded just the one goal so far, North Korea. That was that fantastic goal by Sini Laaksonen of Finland when Korea were already 2-0 up.
And that was pretty much a bolt from the blue. From range.
Yeah, there's not
unexpected, unpredictable.
Not much any defence could do
and
about
unstoppable.
that. McNichol. Now Yeka. Davis. Normally start quickly, North Korea. They scored after 15 minutes and were 2 up against Finland inside 27. They took just 6 minutes to take the lead against Ghana. Canada will be aware that they'll be desperate to keep a clean sheet, at least for the opening half an hour or so. Play their way slowly into this game. Here's Kyung Hui. It's been a brightish start from the North Koreans, a couple of half chances.
The onus isn't on them, is it? The onus isn't on them to get the result, other than just to continue their momentum.
There's Kyung Hyang. Now North Korea could lose here and still win the group. There's Yoon Gyong. All 4 teams still in contention. Finland or Ghana would have to win their match by a sizable amount if Canada were to win here. Any points for Canada would put the Finns out of the equation. They need a North Korean victory and a sizable win against Ghana. Ghana just need to win by more goals than Canada do, I think, to the tune of a couple more.
There's something comforting about the traditional and orthodox numbering of the Canadian shirts. 3 at left back, 2 at right back, 5 and 6 are centre backs, and it gives you an idea of, indicates how settled the team is. He hasn't chopped and changed much, Andrew Olivieri. The players know what their jobs are. They just need to get out there and do them and see if they can break down North Korea. There's no indication of panic as yet.
Can go through with a draw, of course, Canada, if Finland were to beat Ghana. So-yeon. Now Davis. Now Yoon Gyong intercepting from Davis. This could spell trouble here for Canada. Kyung Hyang from the angle. Sheridan with the block. And then gathered the rebound, but another opening for North Korea.
Again, it's the same player who gets away, Kyung Hyang, on her left foot. Keeper's always in the right position, always making it difficult, and it's a comfortable take. And she's recovered well after the spill that led to the goal against Ghana.
Played just 35 minutes so far in this tournament. Kyung Hyang.
Fresh legs, but not in the groove as yet, not finishing wise.
Header on by Sanderson. Too much though for Prince. There's that Kyung Hyang chance again. It's a good height for the goalkeeper, Sheridan.
But it's going to take something pretty special to beat the keeper who got her angle spot on.
Header by McNichol. Owen Young. This is Sol Gyong. What is proving, as expected, to be a really open Women's Under-20 World Cup. North Korea will be amongst those fancying their chances. really has been a tough section of the draw, this, when you consider Germany and the USA in the same group again, but the same half of the draw as North Korea, Canada and Ghana, of course. China threatened to be stronger this year, but ultimately were disappointing in their earlier match against the USA.
It's a surprise to me to hear how easily they just apparently lay down and let their tummies be tickled by the US after the sterling fight they'd put up against Germany. That stunning 5-5 draw. They look to have broken out of the mould of sitting back and not being negative, but not committing players forward and playing an exciting, adventurous style of football. Apparently they almost reverted to type against the US. And it will be heartening for USA fans that after a disappointing opening match against Germany, that the US are now up and running and they've got the engine purring.
It's like 2012 all over again, isn't it? A slow start, and then ultimately they went on to win the tournament, and certainly their best performance so far, the US against China. Here's McNichol. Too close to Kim Cholok. It's not beyond the realms, of course, that it could be Germany, USA all over again. 2 years later, they're now in different halves of the draw. Minutes gone, 0-0.
Some rather high-pitched singing hooligans in the crowd, trying to cheer on the Canadians, and here goes Becky.
Good run again by Becky. Kyung-hui getting back to her.
She's got two players to try and beat, though.
There's McNichol. Challenged by Kyung-hui.
Staubley letting that go. Surely McNichol was leaning.
Yeah, I'm amazed the whistle didn't go. It's a rather clumsy piece of play from the Canadian captain, but she got away with it. Here's Becky. Another nonchalant ball into the danger zone. Cleared away by Eun-Yong. Now McNichol. Better spell this, though, for Canada. Lawrence. This is Fletcher. Now McNichol.
Canadian coach Andrew Olivieri, one of the few members of John Herdman's whole senior and youth squad staff that hasn't upped sticks from New Zealand along with Herdman and moved across the world.
Kang Sim. Away from Davis. This is Eun-Yong. So-Yong. Hua played into So-Hyang. Hua again. Plenty of red shirts forward in this attack for North Korea. This is So-Yun, the left back, up against Yeka. And a disappointing end to that move.
Yeka did her job, just kept her in the corner. It was interesting for quite a few seconds. They were quite happy just to leave So-Yun on her own. It's up to you, do something.
Kim Chalot largely untroubled in the North Korean goal. Sheridan called into action once, and North Korea had a couple of other reasonable chances. Here's Yeka. It's Fletcher outside. Koreans backing off Yeka. And then So-Yun steps in and takes it away. So-Yun again. So-Hyang after this. Well, Buchanan across. I think she was trying to usher that out and almost dangerously kept it in play, but the official deciding there was either a foul or the ball had gone out of play. Yeah, it was the latter option. Fletcher. So-Yun. Foot in from Davis. So-Hyang after this. Buchanan across. Fletcher. Nice neat play from Canada. Here's Sanderson.
Nicely worked out to the left.
Now McNichol.
But look at how disciplined the North Korean formation is. It shifts over, they keep their shape and shut the door.
Kyung-Hyang after this.
Other teams in this tournament and in the women's game favouring the 4-1-2-3, experimenting with diamonds and lots of different fads. North Koreans seemingly quite happy to favour just a fairly simple 4-4-2, and they're fit enough to make that work.
Yeah, it does seem rather unusual in this day and age, doesn't it, to see the, as you say, the standard 4-4-2. Yeka back to Buchanan.
Well, it's something that football teams always generally come back to, because if you've got the players to make it work, then it does work.
Through by Quinn. Now So-Hyang.
As soon as they get the ball, they're all on the move, they're all scampering, advancing forwards.
Yang Sim after this. Played back by Young Gyong. Now Mi Gyong. And the effort at goal is just off target from Eunhwa.
Pulled it wide. It was quite an acrobatic leap from Kaylin Sheridan. It's happened again and again that she's finding space there. Is it Yeka getting pulled infield?
A couple of times now that Eunhwa has found a bit of space out on that far side.
And Kyung-Hyang had the chance there, and it's almost identical position too.
Here's McNichol. Surprised to see that Canada didn't take part in the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 Championships in January that doubled as the qualifiers for this tournament. I know they were the host nation and qualified automatically, but sometimes the hosts do play in those tournaments, don't they, just to get competitive action.
I think the Costa Ricans were delighted that Canada didn't take part. You could argue that they probably wouldn't have made it through.
There's Kyung-Hyang. Now So-Hyang. Now Hyang Sim. It just seems a waste of a good opportunity, doesn't it, to have some tournament football.
Well, it seems odd that these two teams have played two friendlies in early June as well, even knowing that they were in the same group. June 7th they drew 2-2, and then June 10th Korea won 2-1.
But it's the win that Canada need, really, to keep the ball in their own court with regards to qualifying. Runners up in the inaugural Under-20 World Cup here. Quarter-finalists in Thailand 2 years later, but have fallen at the group stage in the next three that they've played in. Didn't qualify for Germany 2010.
In 2002 they were pretty much hauled through the competition by Christine Sinclair. Wonder what she's doing now. Oh yeah, she should have won World Player of the Year in 2012 and didn't.
Yeah, fantastic talent for Canada.
She's pretty harshly punished by FIFA for her criticism of referees at that in that Olympic Games. Fined and several games banned. She probably could have bitten somebody and got off more lightly.
Put in from Fletcher. It's a poor clearance from Cholok. Here's Becky. It's over Fletcher. So-Yeon across. So-Gyong.
Sinclair was the standout player in that 2002 tournament. In each edition of this, that was the under-19s, but each edition of under-20s, under-19s tournaments there's generally been one player that's been in the limelight, been the real one to carry their team through, and there hasn't been one individual as yet in the group stages that's very much stood out from any of the teams. Still time.
There's Kyung Hui. Korea trying to play their way through. McNichol clears. We've had the first hat-trick of the tournament now with that Sarah de Britz hat-trick for Germany. Here's McNichol.
For Germany, who've had Alexandra Popp and Jennifer Marizan in the past, that they're very much in the group stages have been a unit, work very much together.
Here's Buchanan. Yeka. This is Fletcher. Trying to take on So-Yeon again. It's a good battle on that far side. The Korean left back and Emma Fletcher gets the ball in this time to Sanderson. Almost found its way through to Becky. And for the first time in the game, North Korea were looking a bit stretched.
Well, it looked so easy how the ball came through. It was almost a surprise, and I think Valerie Sanderson was taken aback slightly. She miscued.
So-Yeon. So-Gyong to Eun-Yong. A couple of times now she's produced some really good work on that far side, Emma Fletcher.
And despite the number of defenders out there, she's managing to get the centres in. Deserves better from her centre forwards.
Goal kick then for North Korea. Strong header from Buchanan. It's found Prince. Here's Fletcher again. Yeka. Fletcher helps it on towards Prince. They're growing in confidence, Canada. Prince turns away from So-Gyong. Really good play from Prince. Oh, and it's a really poor touch from Yeka, the right back. But they're starting to produce one or two bits of play to worry the North Koreans, the host nation. Mi-Gyong. Kyang Sim. Mi-Gyong again.
comes across as quite a positive, interesting, down-to-earth guy, Hwang here, the North Korean coach. Talking about how he's looking to the future with this team. It's not something that other coaches don't say, but just some of the phrases he comes out with and his outlook, it's quite refreshing for a coach of a North Korean team who are normally quite reticent and nervy around the media.
Davis. Now Yeka. Davis again. Prince outside her. Davis going alone, and Sol-Gyong gets the block in. I think the final touch was off Davis. She was unlucky there, but it was good midfield play.
She got to the byline and was almost a little bit, what do I do now?
Of course, a number of this Canadian side will be harbouring hopes of making the step up to the full national team for a year's time. It's a terrific target to have, isn't it, for the Canadian players?
Yeah, what an absolute dream.
Kyung Hui. Now Hyung Hyang. Strong challenge by McNichol on Hyang Sim.
With that in mind, McNichol and probably Emma Fletcher so far in this game have looked like the two that you would suppose that John Herdman would be thinking of including in that squad. It's a long way to go now. Just under a year, but for a footballer, you can come on leaps and bounds in that time. They need to score, but look at how many Canadian players were back defending, the entire team.
Zhenhua. So Hyang. So Yum. It's blocked away by Fletcher.
Her legs heavily strapped, and she just did have a little moment there.
And what? Still 0-0 in the other game between Ghana and Finland. So it's as you were in this group at the moment. Canada would be going through with North Korea. It's Prince. Now Lawrence. I did well, and then Prince gave the ball away to Yeon So-yeon. Hyang Sim. Kyung Hyang. Gets the ball across, an important interception from Quinn to deny So-Hyang, who gets on the end of it anyway. And there was a block by Sheridan.
Kim So-Hyang has absolutely no right to get to that ball there, but somehow she manages to force her way in front of the defenders, and here you can see her cutting the ball back, just overrun it. In a somewhat disarray there, the Canadian back four.
There's Yeka. Now McNichol. They'll be glad to get to half-time level, Canada, but realistically you feel they need a goal. A win for Canada would put Finland out of the equation, but then it would be down to Ghana to beat the Finns by enough goals to overhaul Canada. There is a chance that Canada could win here and still go out. That is how tight it is in this group. Have an advantage of 2 goals. Seven minutes to half-time, 0-0. Hasn't had too much service, has she? Prince up front for Canada. But she's worked hard. Here's McNichol. Davis. Becky didn't have too much hope of getting on the end of that. Here's McNichol again. Korean throw. Nothing more disappointing as a host nation, is there, than going out in the group stages.
Just whimpering through 3 games.
With North Korea to play in their last game, it was pretty imperative they didn't slip up against either Ghana or Finland. They did slip up against Ghana and very nearly did against Finland.
Oh, it was an amazing comeback against Finland. It was the first time in this tournament, I think, or even in under-20 World Cup history, that a team's come back from 2-0 down to win. So it gives you a measure of quite what an important 3 points it was, and it could be enough to carry them through.
Buchanan.
Quinn on the ball. It was her birthday yesterday. I hope they didn't eat too much cake. 19 she was.
Here's McNichol. Now Davis. Yeah, low-key celebrations, you'd imagine, wouldn't you, ahead of such an important game?
Don't tell Yaya Toure that.
He's
never going to live that down, is it? He won't ever lie, that.
Here's Davis. Yeah, it's a bit under 11s, that complaint, isn't it? Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, North Korea 0, Canada 0. No goals on the deciding evening in either game yet in Group A, so it's as you were. Both these two teams will be celebrating at the end of the 90 minutes if results remain as they are. And that would also mean that Canada would face Germany in the quarterfinals and North Korea would play the USA. A long way to go yet, though. McNichol's throw. So-yeon hacks it away. There's Buchanan. And Hua. Kyung-hyang. Yoon-gyong. Yang Sim onto the fullback Kyung-hui. Again, the move breaks down. This is Prince. Canada can counter. And listen to the roar. Ashley Lawrence. Cross in from Lawrence is a good one, and the header is straight at Cholok. Terrific counter-attack, but Valerie Sanderson just couldn't get the power or the direction to get it away from the Korean goalkeeper.
Well, the pass from Sanderson was just behind her, but she did so well, Ashley Lawrence, to put that cross in. And it hung in the air, and it was plucked out of the air by Kim Cholok.
Quinn.
Just demonstrates to the Canadians that they have to counter quickly to try and catch North Korea unawares. Just a delay of a second or two and they're back in formation and protecting their goal.
Well played by Fletcher. Oh, the final ball. Poor in the end. It was too far ahead of Prince. It's almost a tad pensive as she played it through. Header by Quinn. just under 15,000, saw Canada lose to Ghana in the National Soccer Stadium in Toronto. 16,500 saw them come back against Finland.
And crowds, particularly for Canadian games, have been good. Just the fact that they're in such cavernous stadia can sometimes seem that there's not as many people there.
Here's Unhwa. Canada moving to the Olympic Stadium here in Montreal for the first time. Kyung-hyang. So-hyang was the target. An important touch from Rebecca Quinn. Now McNichol. Lawrence.
It's a good spell by Canada.
Now Fletcher. Yeka.
She wants somebody inside, but nobody's showing for it. She's just wandered into trouble.
So-hyang. Away from Lawrence. Now Hyang Sim.
Winding down to half-time, I think they'll be quite happy to go for a breather and a bit of a chat.
I think part one of the game plan is working for Canada, keeping North Korea at bay. Here's Unhwa. And right on cue, the referee blows for half-time. They've prevented North Korea from scoring, which is what they managed to do in the first halves of both their previous games. Canada not without chances either. Valerie Sanderson's header just not having the power to trouble Cholok. North Korea not looking quite as potent as previously in this tournament, and at half-time it is 0-0. So the side's out for the second half. Canada are about to kick off. They were being greeted with the news in the dressing room that it's Ghana 0, Finland 0. And if those two scores stay the same, we hope they don't, of course, for the entertainment factor, it means that these two teams will be going through. Fletcher on the ball early on for Canada. Yeka. Oh, half a chance for Prince. She connected there. There may have been trouble for Cholok.
You expect a team in Canada's position to start a second half with some zest and some purpose, and that's just what they've done. North Korean teams always start a second half racing out of the box, and they're on the attack now.
Buchanan with the foot in though. You don't fancy a couple of red streaks in your hair?
Are you offering? I don't think it would have quite the same effect. I think I'm getting grey streaks. It's not by choice.
Well, there you go. You can colour them red and hide it.
Pink.
So-hyang over this for Korea. Buchanan missed it, but it was cleared by Quinn eventually.
Again, Canada have every player back for the corner kick. Hooray!
I was going to say, you're about to get your wish. Rian Sim, 2 goals in this tournament so far for her, both of them in the 3-0 win against Ghana. Is on for Kim So-hyang.
It's a shame not to see Kim So-hyang and Rion Sim in the same team together. It's a fairly dangerous combination from a Canadian point of view. They're probably pleased. Both important players up front for North Korea.
I don't know, you want it all, don't you?
Yep.
You've got
Win on
Rian
a
Sim.
stick.
Sure that will be the case in the quarter-finals.
Interesting strapping on Rion Sim's both of the knees. She's taking a whack to the midriff, McNichol.
Yeah, Emma Fletcher of Canada's another one who's heavily strapped up as well. You can see him with the cross in.
It's clearly audible, Sheridan's shout of away when a corner kick comes in every time, in case anybody's forgotten. Just reinforcing the message to clear the lines.
Buchanan. Nickel. Now Mi Gyong. Un Sim. Yoon Gyong. Kim Hyang out to Hyang Sim. Space here for Yoon Gyong. Just as they were beginning to look menacing, North Korea, Buchanan got the ball away. Now Prince. So-yeon. And the flag up against Rian Sim. Davis. So-yeon stretching to win the header. Here's So-yeon. No Hua. One back though by Lawrence. Becky. That should be the goalkeepers. Oh, a lack of communication between goalkeeper and defender and Young.
I think I heard the shout though from the keeper. The defender had it in her sights, and I think if you're 100% about that's what you're going to do, then maybe it's best that you don't waver.
Here's So-yeon. Kyung Hyang. Starting challenge from Quinn. This is Hyang Sim. Young Hyang Sim again. Davis with the foot in, then Buchanan. Still they can't get it away though, Canada. Kyung Hui just couldn't keep it in play.
She raced up the right wing to get in support, and they didn't use her, and really she was in so much space. It was a bit of a waste.
A strong challenge from Buchanan on Kim Mi-gyong. There's the player down for North Korea. Well, he knows a draw's enough, whatever happens in the other games. And there's been a goal in the other game. Juliet Kempe has put Finland in front against Ghana. So Ghana 0, Finland 1. First goal from Group A. Means that Finland would move level with Ghana on 3 points, but doesn't really affect Canada. In a way, it's much better news for them, because if they were to slip up and lose here, Finland were 3 goals worse off than Canada at the start of play. Hyang Sim fed into the penalty area. Becky clears. If that score stays the same, Canada could actually lose here by 1 goal and still go through. Finns will be hoping that North Korea can rattle up a big win. Cross in towards Kyunghyang. Now Mi Kyung seems to be moving okay after that knock. Young Gyong out to Hyang Sim. It's a good spell this for North Korea. Hyang Sim plays it in to Mi Kyung. Challenged by Lawrence.
Tracked by Lawrence. Just needs to keep her body in between the player and the goal, and that's what she did.
Here is Lawrence. Change of wings in this second half for Fletcher and Becky. Fletcher staying out on that far side. Here's McNichol. Now Buchanan to Quinn. It was almost a good ball to Fletcher, just too high though. She was a threat in the first half for Canada. A couple of decent deliveries into the Korean penalty area that caused problems.
Yeah, she worked a little bit of magic and a little bit of space to send in a cross or two.
Davis. Now Yeka. Quinn.
There's both full-backs with wayward passes.
Nickel wins it back though. Here's Lawrence. Yeka. And now Becky. Lawrence playing it through towards Prince. Challenged by Eun-Young. Prince plays it across. Really strong forward play by Nichelle Prince. And very nearly brought about the opening goal for Canada. Sanderson just couldn't get the touch on it to turn it in.
It was a great ball by Lawrence. Great vision. And there's some last-ditch defending.
Yeah, Kyung-Hui getting across. It wasn't a penalty, you can see from that angle. She clearly got a foot on the ball, and Young.
To her credit, she was up on her feet again, recovered quickly, Nichelle Prince.
Great covering from the right back though, Kyung-Hui. It's another boost though for Canada.
Or is it another chance that Uru, having missed?
Yeah, they had a succession of them, as you mentioned, against Ghana in the opening game. Can ill afford that here, though. Clock ticking away, but as it stands, a draw would be enough, because remember, Finland are beating Ghana. Here's Yeka. Oh, terrific battling from Prince.
It's a lovely turn. She seems to have survived unscathed from what appeared to be a pretty heavy, almost two-footed challenge from Kyung-Hui. It's given the crowd a lift as well, and that in turn will lift the players.
Mi Kyung. Now Lawrence. Kyung-Hyang though winning it back for North Korea. Kyung-Hui. And Young, now So-Young. Sol-Gyong. Now Nhua. Switched out again by Young Gyong to Hyang Sim. Kyung Hui is outside him. Cleared away by Buchanan.
I've been impressed with both Buchanan and Quinn. I think they've done their jobs very, very well, the two centre-backs for Canada so far.
Hyang Sim. Yeah, corner. And the Koreans making a change. Ri Kyung Hyang is replaced by Jo Ryeon Hwa.
Kyung Hyang will be a little bit disappointed with herself. She had two half chances in the first half. She only played 35 minutes before this game. It was a chance to make an impression.
And we're back to the team that started the 3-0 win against Ghana.
Some excitement about Pei Louis coming on.
Emma Fletcher, the player off. Placed by Amandine Pierre-Louis. As you say, a fantastic reaction from the supporters.
Listen for the keeper's shout. As soon as she takes the corner, she'll be screaming away.
Here it comes. Quinn beaten to the header. Gathered by Sheridan. And that claim cheered like a goal. The header from Ryeon Hwa, the substitute. It's given away poorly, and here is Ryeon Hwa.
The resultant shot was as rubbish as the initial mistake. It passed to her feet.
It's Quinn. Loves changing his forwards around, doesn't he? Hwang Yongbon.
Well, it's such a high energy position to play that it makes sense to recycle that. Keep them fresh throughout the tournament. Keep them on their toes.
Quinn. And Davis. Quinn again. Now Yeka. Inside the last half an hour. That is how close Canada are to a place in the quarter-finals. Could all change, though, of course, with a North Korean goal and a couple for Ghana.
It doesn't take much to guess that Pierre-Louis from Montreal, and that's why she's getting a big cheer. She showed way too much of the ball initially to So-yeon, but recovered well. The tackle that lifted the crowd.
Lee Gyong. And Sanderson. This is Becky. Davis. And Buchanan. Quinn. Yeka. Lawrence. It's good possession, but again, plenty of red shirts between Canada and the goal. And McNichol with the long-range effort, easily gathered by Cholok. So-yeon. Yungyong out to Kyunghui. Now Hyang Sim into Rion Hua. There's McNichol, almost caught in possession. Hyang Sim, well played by McNichol. Still under pressure though. And finally Lawrence, well, should have got it away, but it's back with Rion Hua. Made a bit of a meal of clearing their lines here, Canada. Now eventually helped out by the referee's whistle, the foul by Rion Sim on Kadesha Buchanan.
That should give them a bit of a break.
Becky. Now Quinn. Davis. Pierre-Louis with a neat touch. Gets the ball back as well. Played in towards Prince. Fired across by Prince. And Becky's there! And Canada take the lead!
And that's why they were cheering Pierre-Louis, because she can make things like that happen. It wasn't all about her though. Prince turns it on and Becky unmarked. Could that be the crucial goal? It's a 1-2. She manages to play it in. She's got two players to aim at. It's borderline offside, but not quite. And it's still a little bit awkward where it bounces in front of her, Becky, but she controls it into the back of the net.
Yeah, controlled side-footed half volley, wasn't it? As you say, it could easily be missed.
Spectacular, and it wasn't quite, but no. The impact on the game and the impact on the group, that's pretty spectacular.
And as you say, Pierre-Louis will get even more of a cheer now when she gets the ball, because she played her part in that move.
Oh, but a great thing to have a catalyst.
And now they really have something to hold on to. North Korea 0, Canada 1. 25 minutes to go. Reminder that Finland are leading Ghana by 1-0. This is terrible news for Finland, who needed North Korea to beat Canada and beat them heavily.
25 minutes against such an energetic, hard-working, industrious, tenacious team like the North Koreans. That's going to be hard work.
Here's Davis. And North Korea's perfect record in this tournament in jeopardy. Won their opening 2 games. Now find themselves a goal down. They will still win the group, by the way, if this does finish 1-0 to Canada. The only thing that could stop Canada going through now if this finishes 1-0 is 4 unreplied goals from Ghana, and that really would be a sickener, wouldn't it, for the Canadians? Here's McNichol. Becky. Header away by Yungyong. Rion Hua. If results stay as they are, North Korea will go through to play the United States in the quarterfinals. Canada would face Germany. Here's Kyunghui. Now So-gyong. Now So-yun. Throw for North Korea. Well, there's the goal again. Lovely ball across from Prince. And Becky unmarked. And Becky with the challenge. Absolutely flying at the moment. Becky takes on Eun-young. Eun-young did well though.
The second goal now would raise the roof.
And what a prospect to look forward to as well. a match with Germany in the quarter-finals. Look forward to or dread, depending on your viewpoint. Here's Young-gyong.
Well, this isn't over by any means.
Here's So-yun. Sliding challenge from Buchanan. Well, China showed as well that Germany are far from infallible. Of course, it's France who come here as the European champions as well.
And they're playing like it.
Haven't really had a test yet, though, have they, the French?
And that's the question mark, isn't it? That are they in the weakest group? And they've missed a lot of chances. They're creating a huge amount of chances, but they're also missing a lot too. They have to get that out of their system.
Davis.
Kiddiatu Diani's probably my pick of the players in the tournament so far. She was fantastic on the right wing in the opening game against Costa Rica, and then fantastic on the left wing. She's going to crawl into the quarterfinals if she has to, Kylie Davis.
Yeah, she's struggling there, isn't she? Here's Kyung-hui. Still have 2 changes left, Canada, of course. Pierre-Louis, the only change made. Here's Mi-kyung. Knocked away by Sanderson. Eunhwa. Blocked by Yeka.
Both of these teams have got 3 players on yellow cards as well, which is worth reminding themselves about. They don't want to miss a knockout stage.
So Young's cross in. Oh, Ri Eunhwa was rising menacingly to head that. It was well defended by Quinn.
I'm intrigued by the boots that North Koreans are wearing. Even just a few years ago, they were all wearing the same uniform, Legia boots, and now individuality expressed by their choice of footwear.
And Sim. Yeah, I think it was straight black boots down the line, wasn't it?
So where do they get them from? How do they get to choose? How do they pay for them? Somebody on Twitter, tell me.
Yang Sim taking on McNichol. Now Young-gyong. Sim again. In towards Ri Eunhwa. Back to Yang Sim. It's a nice move, but not the finish.
Neat build-up play. But where's the finishing touch? No shooting boots on today.
Way to back Yang Sim from there. Quick talking to for Ri Eun Sim and Kaisha Buchanan, having a fair old battle since the introduction of Eun Sim. Quite uncompromising, isn't she, Buchanan?
And she is one of the players on a yellow card as well.
Well, they don't want to lose anyone else, remember. Jessie Fleming is missing from this side for Canada through injury. Becky.
Yeah, Buchanan is one of those all-or-nothing defenders.
Well, that was ridiculous from McNichol. Certainly wasn't what she intended. Here's Ri Eunhwa. Yang Sim. Now Ri Eunhwa. Still going. Yang Sim. Buchanan clears. Said that plenty of times this evening. She's played well, Buchanan. We've news of an equaliser for Ghana against Finland. Sharafatu Sumaila with her second goal of the tournament. The player who scored the winner against Canada has equalised for Ghana against Finland. Well, that was a strong challenge on Eunhwa.
Put that down to over exuberance. That little clip from Pierre-Louis on So-Yun.
Yeah, no card, just a talking to.
That was Unhua, wasn't it, that she caught? And she didn't just catch her, she clattered her.
So first taste of the action, Amadine Pierre-Louis. Canada had used just 13 players in their opening 2 games.
Really struggling, Kyle Davis, the University of Memphis player. She is that workhorse in that centre midfield for Canada.
Kylie Davis very gingerly being helped off the field. We saw her crawling along. So there's possibly even a back problem there, maybe.
Well, it's hugely concerning because she's integral to how that midfield works and fits together.
They're continuing with 10 at the moment. They haven't made a change yet, Canada, but I wouldn't have thought she'd be back on the way she left the field there. Here's Kyung Hui. Heading towards the final 15 minutes. Canada leading 1-0. It's 1-1 between Ghana and Finland. It's all good for the hosts at the moment, unless Ghana can score 3 more times. And then they would be going through on goals scored. Here's So-Yun. It's a good delivery. Yang Sim just pulled away, though. And finally, Sanderson hooks it away. There was an element of panic in the Canadian defence.
It's just got to go high and it's got to go long, and then got to get out of that 18-yard area.
Kyung Hui's ball in, Buchanan's header. Again, Lawrence back there helping out with a crucial touch. Becky clears.
Well, they're without the cover of Davis. She's normally sitting in front of the back 4.
No, they need to make a decision here, don't they?
It's so difficult, isn't it, though, because she's vital. If they go through, they need her.
Here's Unhua.
She's waiting to come on.
First time shot was an absolute shocker from Young Gyong.
Sums up their game in some respects.
She's back out there again. Well, she's stretching that calf as if to suggest she's cramping up, but...
Well, she was cramping up earlier on. That was the issue that she had a few minutes ago. Take on a few more fluids, electrolytes, a bit of salt. Get her back out there.
Here's Unhua. Now So-Yun. You do wonder if it's worth it sometimes, though, for the sake of Canada holding on for the last 15 minutes. And they could actually lose this game if Finland were to grab one against Ghana and still go through. I know she's crucial, but then if they're to go through and have a prolonged run in the tournament, you don't want her to aggravate any injuries, do you?
If they weren't to go through, can you imagine the horror story, the recriminations?
Here's Sanderson. That's why coaches are paid so well, isn't it, to make these decisions. Everybody else makes them with hindsight. Here's Buchanan.
I can't imagine that Andrew Olivier's pay scale's right up there with some of the guys that you're probably thinking of.
So-Yun's throw.
Although John Herdman managed to negotiate a decent upgrade in his contract with the help of a bit of potential interest from the FA after Hope Powell left the England position.
Kyung Hui. Now Lawrence, who's had a terrific game in the midfield for Canada.
She's been all action. She's been great going forward, and she's been made some vital challenges and tracked midfield runs at the back as well.
McNichol. And the foul given against Pierre-Louis. Well, the clock continues to tick down here. And Canada leading by a goal to nil. 1-1 in the other game. It is these two teams going through.
And there's so much energy being expended, and both teams must be pretty sure that they're comfortable in the knowledge that they're progressing. You almost get to a little bit of a stalemate, happy to settle. I'm not for 1 second suggesting that North Korea are happy to lose.
It could get edgy if Canada were to grab another couple of goals for North Korea. There's Yeka.
But they haven't really threatened at all since they've made the breakthrough.
No, they've looked nothing like the team that defeated Finland and Ghana. Here's Buchanan. The performance did wane a bit against Finland in the second half, didn't it, North Korea? It was an electric opening half an hour in that game. Here's Prince. Pierre-Louis. Foot in from Unhwa. Millon.
Wonder how many people in the stadium are on their phones or their devices checking the FIFA match tracker.
Here's So-Yun. So Yeka off. Victoria Pickett comes on. Solid enough game at right back, Yeka.
They're both of her parents Ugandan. They'll be proud of their daughter's performance today.
Inside the last 10 minutes. This will be a terrific victory for Canada, never mind the qualification for the quarter-finals.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to understate what a result this would be if they could hold on.
So-Gyong to So-Yun. Now Young. Yang Sim. 3 red shirts in the penalty area. Kyung Hui with the cross in. Davis with the header away. Yoon Gyong. Well, the way she left the field, Davis, I certainly didn't think she'd be coming back on.
And moving the way that she is now.
So Young's cross in, and then the header goalwards is comfortable in the end for Sheridan from Unsim.
As much as the prospect of Canada against Germany is an exciting one, it's always a tantalising prospect when you consider the US facing North Korea. So many connotations to that geopolitically, but also because of the history of the two teams in this particular tournament.
Yeah, a repeat of the 2008 final in Chile. The US coming out on top by 2-1 in that one. So Nichelle Prince comes off. Wasn't a scoring performance as it was against Finland, but she led the line really well. Prince worked hard and ultimately set up what could be the crucial goal for Janine Becky.
And she was instrumental in that move. Pierre-Louis Prince with the pass on to Becky. Played her part.
Ashley Campbell, one player who was the tactical omission from the starting 11, comes on for the remaining 7 minutes. Buchanan. They do face Germany in the next round, which is looking likely. They can go into that with confidence. A clean sheet against North Korea, a victory against North Korea. Certainly not to be sniffed at. Here's Buchanan. There's a large reason for that. Her partnership with Rebecca Quinn has been impressive.
It's been pretty impeccable.
So Yun. Rion Hua. Un Sim.
There goes another one of those uncompromising Buchanan tackles.
As you say, she's walking a tightrope with regards to the quarterfinals, so needs to be careful, but I don't think the term careful is in her mindset at all.
See ball, get ball. So I've mainly seen the European teams in this tournament. Seen pretty much all of France and Germany. I think that Germany have got the edge on Canada. What's your opinion on the US against North Korea?
Yeah, it's a much tougher one to call. The USA, as they played against China, then probably the US. But USA, as they played against Germany, then North Korea. And what?
The way that Germany played against China, then I think Maren might need some counselling. Simply wasn't the German way. But they such a mature performance against Brazil. Seem to have recovered and learnt their lessons, and that's the important thing.
Kyung-hui. Jung-gyong. I suppose really it's a similar thought regarding the USA and Germany, isn't it? When it comes to it, they're two nations that seem to get the job done no matter what the form book says. Unhua. It's a clever little ball in behind towards Mi Gyong. Well covered though by Buchanan. Germany, remember, a goal down against Brazil earlier on this evening, but turned that around in the end for ultimately an impressive victory.
Well, they ran out 5-1 winners. It certainly wasn't that one way. Not for most of the game. It was in the balance. They've got some exciting young players. Brazil, look forward to seeing them again in the future. I thought Gabby was outstanding. But Germany as a unit, just way too strong.
Kyung-hui. Yang Sim, one more run at McNichol. He's had a good battle with Yang Sim. Tantalisingly close now. Canada, with Jennifer Kudjoe, has just given Ghana the lead against Finland. So it's Ghana 2, Finland 1. Ghana will be level with Canada on points, but still 2 goals adrift. Ghana need 2 in the time that remains there to go through at the expense of Canada. Kim Mi-gyong replaced. Rim Se-ok is the final change for North Korea.
Every Canadian player in the 18-yard area.
Well held by Sheridan. wonder if the coach is aware of that Ghanaian goal. Of course, it makes it a terribly nervy ending, doesn't it? Because if North Korea equalise, Canada are out.
He spent the whole game pacing his technical area, dishing out instructions. Maybe that's just to calm his nerves a little.
If this stays the same, remember, Ghana need 2 more goals. But if Korea equalise, then it will be the African side going through. I think we can safely say that Finland are out now. Been an amazing tournament, actually. After 2 rounds of matches, nobody was mathematically through to the quarterfinals and nobody was mathematically out. Seol-gyong, all 4 groups going into the final round of games, with everybody still in some sort of contention. So-yeon's throw. Kyung-hui. Yang-sim. Ryong-hwa. Quinn is down, holding her ankle. You just wonder how this will affect the momentum of North Korea going into the quarter-finals, having lost that winning streak they were on.
Yes, it's not ideal. But as I mentioned, their coach seems like quite a likeable chap and very positive and level-headed and down-to-earth. I'm sure he can get them all working in the same direction.
Seok.
They won't need much motivation against the USA.
Three minutes to be added on. That is how close Canada are to the quarter-finals.
Which I have to admit, personally, I thought just wasn't likely to happen after their opening day loss to Ghana. They had a mountain to climb, going 2-0 down against Finland, and here they are on the verge of progressing.
Yeah,
top marks.
Amazing turnaround. It's 10 years since they've been in the quarter-finals, not since Thailand 2004 in this competition. 3 group stage exits and a non-qualification in the 4 tournaments that have taken place between then and now. Jung-gyong. Eun-yong to Kyung-hui.
The bronze medal at the Olympics in 2012, they'd been identified as potential medalists, so there was an injection of cash from that. Then to be hosting this and the World Cup next year, there's an injection of cash. It all helps the development. It pays for camps, pays for training for players. All contributes.
Yang-sim. Well, they know they're close, and so do the fans. Have to feel a bit for Ghana. It's very unusual in a 4-team group to not make it through to the quarterfinals with 2 wins and 6 points. But it will be the case unless North Korea can score here or Ghana can find 2 stoppage time goals. And wouldn't the atmosphere change here if that was to happen?
Doesn't bear thinking about.
Here's Becky. His goal looks like winning it for Canada. For a long time it looked as though a draw was going to be enough when Finland were leading, and even when Ghana and Finland were level, so it's just as well that Becky popped up with that goal, because it has proved ultimately crucial. Here's So-yeon. Buchanan's header. The impressive Ashley Lawrence.
Well, they've got a great spine to the team with the 2 centre-backs and Lawrence in front of them, and Davis has worked his socks off.
Keep ball time now for Canada. 20 seconds to go. Buchanan. It's hard on Ghana, and I think Canada have deserved it with this performance.
Well, it's a celebratory atmosphere.
And there it is. Night to remember for Janine Beckett, because her goal has sent Canada through to the quarterfinals of the Women's Under-20 World Cup. It's a double celebration because North Korea, despite the defeat, will go through as group winners. And Ghana, despite finishing with 2 wins and 6 points, will miss out along with Finland. Canada will face Group B winners Germany in the quarterfinals, and North Korea a repeat of the 2008 final against the United States in the last 8. It's fair to say the Women's Under-20 World Cup is really starting to warm up now. And look at the face of Becky, absolutely delighted, and well she might be. A memorable moment for her in Canada.
Well, you could read the mouthing of, oh my God. There's a realisation hit. There's smiles all around the Olympic Stadium.
Well, they've certainly done it the hard way. Canada beaten by Ghana in their opener, 2-0 down against Finland before coming back to win 3-2, and then beating the group winners North Korea to end their 100% record to go through on goal difference ahead of Ghana. Finland played well but lost all 3 matches. They go out without a single point. It is North Korea and Canada who join Germany and the United States, who went through earlier. So let's take a look back then on the winning goal from Janine Beckett. Set up by Pierre-Louis in towards Prince. Her cross finding Becky, who touched the ball into the back of the net on 65 minutes. And that is why the host nation, Canada, are celebrating. North Korea 0, Canada 1. From myself, Wayne Boyce and Jen O'Neill, until next time, it's goodbye.